You ever been so hungry that your stomach stops hurting and just goes quiet? The camera opens to a dimly lit bedroom where a young woman sits on the edge of a mattress on the floor. Her voice is soft but steady, her eyes sunken but determined. She stares directly at the lens. I didn't want a savior. I wanted $30 so I could eat for a couple days. I didn't even care what it cost me anymore. Cut to black. Intro sequence, title flashes on screen. Nina had never planned on becoming that kind of girl. Just a year ago, she was a first-year university student majoring in literature, bright-eyed with a scholarship and dreams of publishing poetry. But life had sharp corners. After her mother passed from cancer and her estranged father refused to help, Nina found herself couch-surfing, working 2 part-time jobs, and still struggling to keep up with tuition and rent. When her roommate bailed without notice, taking the last month's rent with her, Nina stood on the edge of eviction. The power had already been cut. She had half a loaf of bread and a spoonful of peanut butter to last the week. Desperation isn't a loud thing. It's quiet. It's slow. It makes you do things you swore you never would. On a chilly Tuesday evening, wrapped in 2 sweaters, phone at 9% battery, Nina opened her anonymous app and typed something simple. Girl for rent. No strings. I'll cook, clean, talk, whatever you want. Just need some help. Please be kind. She didn't use her real name. She posted it in a local community board, one that was known to draw all sorts. Her heart raced the moment she hit send. Miles had seen the post while sipping his lukewarm gas station coffee in his parked truck, waiting for his next delivery assignment. A former chef turned delivery driver after his restaurant folded during the pandemic, he'd grown used to the city's rhythm of loneliness. But something about the girl's words, it wasn't laced with seduction or manipulation. It was raw. He clicked, unsure why. There was no photo. Just a reply button. He stared for a minute. I'm not here for anything weird. I'm bringing you a meal. Hot and homemade. That's it. He expected no reply. Maybe even to be blocked. But she messaged back after 3 long minutes. Why? Because you asked the world for kindness. He asked for an address. She sent it, cautiously. Miles drove to the nearest grocery store. She didn't open the door right away. Nina peeked through the peephole and saw a man in his late 30s holding a bag in a thermal container. His eyes looked tired, but there was no leer in them. No judgment. She opened the door a crack. Hi. I brought stew. Chicken and dumplings. And some bread. Still silent, she let him in. He didn't sit. He placed the food on her counter, what little of it was clean, and poured her a bowl. Eat, he said simply. I'll be gone in 5 minutes. She did. She cried while chewing. He left without asking for her number. The next evening, a knock. Hey, made chili today. Nina looked at him suspiciously. I don't get it. What do you want from me? Miles shrugged. What if I told you it's not about you? It's about me needing to believe there are still people worth caring for. She let him in again. The visits continued. Always brief. Always with food. At first, she ate in silence. Then one night, she said, I used to want to write poetry. He smiled. I used to want to open a bakery. She laughed. It felt alien in her throat. One night, Miles arrived to find the door slightly ajar and the apartment silent. He walked in and found Nina on the floor, curled up and shaking. An unopened envelope sat beside her. Eviction notice. She had 3 days. He sat beside her, not saying a word. I don't have anywhere to go, she whispered. He pulled out his phone and made a call. I know a women's shelter run by a friend. They have space. It's not much, but it's safe, warm, and private. Nina stared at him. Why are you doing this? Because someone once did it for me when I had nothing. At the shelter, Nina found herself surrounded by others who had walked similar roads. She started volunteering in the kitchen. Found comfort in routine. Miles still visited. Not every day now, but when he could. He brought muffins she helped him bake. Eventually, she got a part-time role assisting at the shelter office. She saved money, applied for community housing, and returned to her writing. A year later, she stood at an open mic night with a small crowd. Miles sat in the back, his arms crossed, proud. She read. A man brought me stew once. He didn't ask what I'd done to deserve it. He gave it to me like I was a person. That day, I remembered I was. Final words, the camera returns to Nina. I didn't post that ad to find love. Or help. I posted it because I was running out of ways to pretend I wasn't drowning. And the world showed me one person who cared enough not to take anything from me, but to give. She leans in. So if you're watching this, and you're at that point, thinking no one would care if you vanished tomorrow, I promise you, someone would. Someone who doesn't want anything from you except to remind you you're worth something. Fade to black. If you or someone you know is struggling, reach out. There's always someone who will show up, not to take, but to give. Ending song fades in, soft, hopeful piano music. Roll credits / links to helplines and resources. Let me know if you want this adapted into a script format, or with scene directions, background score cues, or voiceover notes.